Luka Tarlach in to tip against Emmett Marquardt. Cal Poly controls, and we're underway today in Cheney. Mark, both teams are running out four guard lineups to begin today's game.
Yeah, both teams are going to rely heavily on their guard play and really push the ball and look to score. A lot of their guards can shoot also.
But they'll begin with the forward, Luka Tarlach underneath. He's tied up with Emmett Marquardt.
Out, and Eastern gets possession.
So here's Nick McLean to take it across for Eastern Washington as Eastern tries to get on the board for the first time, and we see their starting lineup. It really has been the guards making the magic for them so far, Mark.
Yeah, it's heavy guard play. They're really relying on the penetration and kick. They've done a great job knocking down shots. We'll see if they can keep it up.
Mason Williams tried to knock down that opening shot, wouldn't go. Nice to see him confident taking the threes, though, because he is their best three-point shooter.
Yeah, I mean, you saw versus Missouri when he had 20 points. He can knock down those shots. Give him a little space, he's going to knock them down.
Tarlach into the lane, threw it away, gave it up.
And in the corner.
Mark, you mentioned how good Mason Williams looked in that game against Missouri where he dropped 20. Their last game was 6 days ago. Early in a season, is that too much time or is that actually helpful?
That's tough. I mean, especially if you come off a loss, you know, or it's just a lot.
As he went into the lane there, Mac Riniker, our player to watch for Cal Poly, did the damage. McLean trying to control it here in the corner and get Eastern on the board. Around a screen from Marquardt. The big man likes to play on the perimeter. A little bit long on the three there. 2 early three attempts in the first 90 seconds.
Yeah, but that was a good look right there. A little drive and kick, wide open three. And Emmett usually knocks those down, so that's a good look for Eastern.
Riniker gives it away. Hartman in transition. Up to Mason Williams, and the Eagles are on the board with an early highlight.
And a great take by Williams there. Just using the other side of the glass. And attacking and way to push the ball for Eastern. They're going to have to continue. You don't want to pick up that foul. Somebody else should have probably matched up so he's not stuck running back all the way from after scoring.
And they sent Riniker to the bench after the early foul. Jared Hyder can't ring that one up for Cal Poly. And Williams with the rebound. He's been everywhere here in the first 2 minutes. Up to Nick McLean, up and under again.
And there's that guard-to-guard combo. Williams kicks it up. McLean finishes it.
Cal Poly didn't have luck from outside. They'll try to go inside. That was Owen Kuntz who missed. Now Andrew Cook, who has been phenomenal so far. He gave that one up, and Elliott takes it away. He's got a one-on-one. Leaves it off for Kuntz. The spin, the layup.
Getting a little out of control. Looked at them to start slowing things down a little bit after these first couple minutes.
This is Peter Bandel working against Marquardt. Height mismatch for 6'4" on 6'9".
But you see both teams. I mean, they're not big. They're guard heavy.
Speaking of guards, not a lot of scoring early on, Mark. Both these teams are finding their sea legs.
Yeah, and some costly turnovers early for both teams.
On the other end, Andrew Cook with the 2 and a timeout for Cal. Shooter from the field so far for a guard that's unbelievable.
Oh, it is, especially the shots he's taking. It's not like he's taking wide open ones.
The board. Nearly 3 minutes in to start this game. And here is Jared Hyder, their leading scorer to run point for them. 15 points a game so far this year. Jessup.
Yeah, you can't let him go because he can shoot.
To the corner. Riniker's back on the floor after they took him out after that early foul. Jessup steps back for 3. Almost pure, hard to shoot over Marquardt, and the second chance is up and good from Riniker.
Yeah, Eastern guards got to make sure they box out there.
Goes off the hands of Luke. Cook to inbound. McLean trying to go on Riniker. Looking for the angle. He's got a good one and 2 points.
That was just nice. Get your guy all the way down to the key and just get him going one way and then go the other.
Tarlach had to give that one away. Hyder in the corner couldn't get it. Dumark, because Cal Poly has turned it over 71 times in their first 4 games.
Yeah, and that's just the pressure right now. You know, they're getting used to each other. You know, both teams have a lot of new guys, and they're trying to figure it out.
It's been working for Eastern in the early going. Cook, mid-range, little short. Great rebound from Hartman and a second chance.
Yeah, great job by Hartman being aware of the rebound and getting his head around.
Corner, Hartman, ring it up.
That's a big shot by Hartman. You know, we're trying to, you know, Eastern's trying to get him more consistent on his outside shot, and that's a big knockdown for his first one.
Corner. Got that one back from Owen Kuntz. He's second on the team in scoring this year. He's shooting 50% from the floor.
Yeah, you can't leave him open.
Definitely not. McLean gave it up. Cal Poly pushing. Hyder for three, just off the mark. And they'll get a second bite at the apple here. Andrew Cook tips that one out of bounds. And that'll take new faces they have on their team.
Yeah, it's definitely getting used to playing with one another, you know, but they're 4 games in, so they should be ready for that.
Renneker looked good in the first couple minutes, just came in back off the bench after an early foul. Hyder pulls for three and is just a little bit short. Cal Poly 1 for 5 from 3 so far.
But see how quick Eastern Washington got the ball out that time? They're looking to push it every single time with those 4 guards.
Are they looking to push the pace because they know Poly is prone to turnovers?
No, I think that's just how Coach Munson wants to play. They want to get up and down and get easy shots. If they can get it on the fast break, I think they would prefer it that way.
Here's Bandel. Could not get around Andrew Cook, who is equally as tenacious on defense as he is on the offensive end. Back to Renneker. Has an angle. Contact midair.
But he passed it. So
and he passed us, checked in for Eastern Washington, which is a little surprising, Mark. He has not played much this year at all, as Bizimana pulls for 3 and hits.
Yeah, they got lost right there, and you got to know who you're guarding, and that was a big shot for Cal Poly.
All of a sudden, it's back to a 3-point game. Eastern started this game on a 6-0 run as Mason Williams gets him right back with a 2.
And that was a great shot by Williams there, just a one dribble pull up off a screen. I mean, if he can make those consistently like he has been, it's gonna be huge this year.
What a move to the rim from Peter Bandel, the true freshman from Slovenia.
Yeah, great take by Bandel there. Just got all the way to the cup and able to finish. Use that quick spin move.
Slight Euro step from the European.
Yep.
Nagoye trapped, double teamed, got to get rid of it. And he does. Hartman for 3. A little bit short. That's when you got to make in a game that is going to end up being close.
Yeah, and that's a good rotation right there. Cook really got it to Hartman, and a good look.
Hyder has been quiet so far despite beating their leading scorer. Misses a wide open jumper. He's a little bit cold so far.
Yeah, he's getting good looks, though. Eastern can't keep giving those. He's going to start knocking them down.
So he's finding a way open. What a great pass that was.
He's very smart with the ball. Great defensive player. You know, he's looking to kick guys and more of a facilitator than a scorer like the other guards.
Menzies gave it up. Bizimana, he likes the corner, just hit a 3 there a second ago.
Definitely.
Great movement from Poly. Tarlach, one-on-one with Powell, spins and gives it away. Menzies gets it off the backboard and down. The senior from California, one of 4 transfers who came to Cal Poly in the offseason, along with their new coach, Mike DeGeorge.
Yeah, and that was great penetration by Cal Poly. Each guy got the ball, got downhill, got to their spots. Eastern Washington just has to stay down on their closeouts. They're there, they just can't reach.
Poly has gotten back into this game. Powell pulls a guarded 3 and chases down his own rebound. Hartman one-on-one with Jessup, and they'll slow it down. McLean gave that one up, unforced error.
Yeah, unforced error. He thought his big guy was going to stay there, but left. It was a good read by him, but just the big wasn't ready.
Menzies, Eastern all out of position on that one as Renneker lays it in. And Cal Poly has their first lead of the game.
Yeah, and that's just sloppy defense by Eastern there, giving Cal Poly easy buckets and not good rotations.
Mustangs now on a 6-0 run here as we hit the under 12 mark. McLean into the lane. He was clearly trying to draw a foul. A game was all Eastern, and then Cal Poly climbed right back in.
You know, it was definitely defensive rotations and guys not being ready. And when you get into the game, you got to be ready right away.
And Marquardt forces the turnover. Powell on the move. Eastern trying to turn this into points, and instead they'll slow it down with Sam Stockton running the point. Visa Zonky just in off the bench for Eastern as well, over on the right wing. Williams trying to get around Bizimana, tried to force it into Marquardt, and it did go off Bizimana's hands.
Yeah.
6 for Cal Poly. He's pretty big.
Yeah, big and can score.
Hit a big 3 already as well.
Yep.
Tyler Powell has been aggressive shooting the ball this year. Gave it up. Speaking of giving it up, Zonky gave it up as he went into the lane.
Yeah, that was a good take by Zonky. He just has to be strong. He has to lower that shoulder a little bit.
Cal Poly has hit 4 of their last 5 shots from the field, finding their efficiency. Kieran Elliott. Back outside for Kuntz, almost had his second 3, and Elliott on the second chance.
Yeah, and that's 2 box out for the guards for Eastern. They got to box out. They can't stand and watch.
Mark, what has Cal Poly figured out on defense here these last couple minutes?
They're doing a better job talking. The rotations are better, and Eastern's not getting quick baskets. We saw it at the beginning. They got a lot of fast break baskets. Now it's half court, and they're able to set up their defense.
Reneker went for the ball, tipped it out of bounds. This will stay.
And look to see Jessup going. I mean, he hasn't knocked down a 3 yet, and he's a big-time shooter.
Hasn't had any points yet, but he'll pick up an assist here as he finds Hyder for 2. And Eastern, second on the team in scoring, already has 5 points here. Nailed a big 3 a minute ago. Cal Poly, though, pretty slow on the 3s at the minute, only 2 for 7. Eastern still 1 for 5. 3s have not been falling.
No, they haven't been. They haven't had too many clean looks either.
And he traveled. Tyler Powell.
Quick 3. You know, you got to just take a breath and wait for those opportunities.
With that turnover from Tyler Powell, Mark, Eagles have turned it over now 3 times in the last 2 minutes.
Yeah, and those are scoring opportunities for Eastern.
Menzies one-on-one, great look. And Zonky comes away with the rebound.
Yeah, great rebound by Zonky there.
Williams, coast to coast, tipped away by Jessup. And another basket that does not go down as part of this Eastern drought. And another turnover, this time from Cal Poly. These teams keep giving it away with unforced errors. Vitsa Zonky with a rainbow 3.
And that was a good job by Cook. He probably could have took the shot there, but distributed it to his teammate for Zonky.
Speaking of 3s, a deep response from Jared Hyder. Eastern knows he's good, Mark. He put up 10 against the Eagles last year.
Yeah, I mean, he's a good shooter. He's missed his first couple, and that was a deep one from the white line.
Down low, Williams back outside to McLean. Tried to get a little too fancy with it and gave it up again. Hyder almost put a nail in the coffin there for that sequence. Eagles got the bench early in this game compared to their last few.
Yeah, I think they're looking for a spark right now. They want somebody to step up. And there's Hyde getting another good shot. And again, not boxed out by the guards.
Kuntz gave it up, no foul. That was a clean tip. And now Andrew Cook to take it slowly across, who has been so great the last couple weeks, but pretty quiet tonight. Cook still just 2 points, despite having 24 at Missouri. Zonky, another rainbow 3. That one won't go down. And Hyder will try to slow it down. Hyder did it all himself, then gave it up. And Jessup makes him pay for the corner. The Spokane native who grew up here, his family is from here, played a little high school ball at Gonzaga Prep. He's having fun in this building tonight, Mark.
He is. That was a big shot for him because he's had a couple looks that hasn't taken him yet, but that was a good driving kick right there by Hyde.
I think we're all looking for him to have a big game tonight.
Yeah, I mean, he works out here all summer. His brother works out. Look to him to be more aggressive as this game goes on because, like you said, he only has 2 points and player of the week getting buckets.
Well, he'll need to be aggressive after the last 10 minutes of basketball for Eastern. Cal Poly is on a 6-0 run, and Eastern has turned that over 5
points off the bench. Eastern only has 3, and then fast breaks. Eastern started off hot and has really slowed down on those fast breaks, pushing the ball.
Cal Poly's done a great job moving off the ball. Jessup finds a great angle but gives it up instead. 3 to shoot. Jessup has to get rid of it. I don't think Bizimana got that one off in time. They'll say he did because Eastern has the ball anyway.
Yeah, that was a great rebound by Hartman. He's done a fantastic job rebounding, helping the guards down low. He kind of does a little bit for everything for Eastern.
The Eagles have not scored in the last 2 minutes and change. It has been really quiet on the offensive end after the first 5 minutes of this game.
Yeah, they just need to make smarter decisions and move the ball.
Excellent movement. There you go, Mark. Exactly. Good movement, good passing, and Jackson Seal breaks the seal and gets a couple points on the board.
Yeah, and it's just making the easy play. You know, moving the ball, know the guys that need the ball in their hands, and the other guys being ready to catch.
And that was steal number 10 on the season for Andrew Cook, who leads the team.
Yeah, a big steal right there. Continues to work hard and get his hands on the ball.
Really great on both ends of the ball. Seal, one-on-one. He had the height advantage, but he gave it up. He was thinking about Elliott. Didn't see the steal coming. Elliott up underneath for 2.
Yeah, Seal has to be stronger down low there. He had the mismatch. He has to use his body just to protect that ball and just go straight up.
Eastern's defense is not out of position. The offense just can't find a way to find each other.
Yeah, I mean, I think they need to do a better job on those screens.
You could just classify as wings. They're guard-forward combos.
Yes.
This is their favorite kind of basketball to play. Cook for 3. That's what you get for shooting over a guy, right?
Yeah, well, that was a good look for Cook. He has to catch it ready. He thought about it too much when he caught it.
Bandel couldn't get around McLean, but he's still trying. Elliott underneath the basket, and they gave it up again. I think I know what both coaches will be talking about at halftime, Mark. No more turnovers.
Yeah, just making the easy play. Don't force it.
Speaking of forcing it, they gave it up again. This is getting hard to watch. That was number 10 for Eastern, and that was number 11 for Cal Poly. Hartman gets the 2.
And that was a good pass by Cook. He probably could have shot that, but made the unselfish decision, got the assist to Hartman. And again, it's a turnover. Points off turnovers. It's been huge. It's been huge for both teams.
Andrew Cook draws the whistle, got a little bit, and it has been pretty clean basketball so far.
It definitely has. I mean, a lot of turnovers by both teams. But as far as the fouls are concerned, both teams are kind of staying down.
Reneker just came back into the game, and he gives it up. Turnover number 12. Hyder from deep. That was awfully close. And that'll be a foul as Elliott came down in his place, who really has not played very much this year. Reneker for 2.
Yeah. Just, again, defensively, too easy down low on that inbounds.
Back to a 6-point game. This is about where it's been hovering for the last 6 or 7 minutes of hoops. McLean, one-on-one, beautiful.
Yeah, that was a good finish by McLean. You got to make those if you're going to go, one-on-one, dribble it down and take it. But Eastern, that's what they need right now. They need buckets.
And if the chemistry is just a little bit off, sometimes you do just need a little one-on-one basketball.
Yeah, and that's why McLean, Cook, Williams really have to step up.
Reneker took about 5 steps through the paint there. They didn't whistle him, and Cal Poly will keep the ball.
Yeah, Cal Poly got lucky there. Eastern tripped over each other.
Reneker shot over Tyler Powell and buries it right in his eye.
Yeah, that was a big shot. That's catch and ready to shoot right there. Don't have a hand up in your shooter. You're going to knock those down.
7-point lead for Cal Poly. This is about as good as their offense has looked so far this game. Williams, one-on-one. Out to Thomas, and delivers.
That's a big shot for Thomas, and that's what he can do. He's a high flyer, but he's no more of a stretch 4.
Kick ball. Accidental, obviously. This will stay with Cal Poly. About 3 minutes to go until halftime. Bizimana left wide open and almost made Eastern pay. He did hit a 3 early. Kuntz left wide open. They're doing a good job getting space in the middle of the floor.
They are. They're doing a good job sealing.
Here's McLean working on Hyder. This has been an excellent one-on-one matchup today. Those are equally talented players.
Yeah. Hartman has to seal his guy off there.
Good ball screens, and they gave it up. Both teams into double-digit turnovers here in the first half. It has been sometimes difficult to watch. And there's another. Here's McLean for a highlight.
Yeah, and good rotation on defense for Eastern. A good job pushing the ball. And a blown layup by Cal Poly.
Yeah,
we talked about it. It's 13-4 on fast break points for Eastern. That's what's keeping them in the game right now.
Yeah, Poly likes to play in the half court more than Eastern does, as Williams gets the 2, and all of a sudden Eastern is right back and they got a tie game.
Yeah, and that's a great job by Williams, just being patient.
Cal Poly gets the easy points back there with Isaac Jessup, but for Eastern Washington.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, that was a great move by Williams, but just a missed matchup. I mean, when guys come in, they got to know who they're guarding, and you got to make sure nobody runs down, just nobody guard them down the center of the court.
The Eagles have hit their last 5 shots on the offensive end. They can tie or take the lead on this possession with a little bit more than a minute to go in the half. Williams and Bizimana. Williams shorter, but he steps back and almost hits the 3.
Yeah, I like that shot. I mean, you got to get him going. It's a good step back, a little short, but it looked good.
Inside a minute to go in the half. Hyder finds Jessup. Can't make him pay, but it was close.
Eastern's fortunate. Jessup's a good shooter.
Poly's been a better three-point shooting team today, as McLean almost went for a Sports Center top 10. But he chases down his own shot and hits the 3. Good mercy. Williams the board. An electric last minute of this first half.
Yeah, and Eastern can kind of hold by 1. It's like a quarter of a second difference here for Eastern. You don't want to go too early.
Williams will have Eastern hold here for the last shot.
Yeah, if you're Eastern, you're fortunate there. McLean just hustling, out-hustled the other guy.
McLean continues to do it himself, and he gets 2 at the free throw line here. Cal Poly down 2 to tie or take the lead at the horn. Hyder got it and puts Cal Poly.
And push the basketball is going to be successful in the second half. You know, when I always play, my coach will say, who's going to be the first one, you know, to be aggressive second half.
And Eastern gives it up again to start the second half. That is their 13th turnover of this game. Kuntz makes him pay with a 3 right away.
Yeah, and that's what you can't have happen to start the second half. You can't have a turnover straight into a 3-point shot. You got to communicate and take care of the ball if you're Eastern. But if you're Cal Poly, I mean, you can't start better.
And the Mustangs back to leading by 4. They led between 4 and 6 most of the end of the first half.
Yeah, I mean, they led majority of the game. Eastern led at the start and led at the end. But it was a close game all the way through.
Marquardt almost gave that one away, and Eastern does give it away with yet another turnover. Back-to-back possessions to start the second half. Rineker spins it back to Hyder. Outside to Jessup. Another 3 for Cal Poly. Back-to-back to begin the second half. And all of a sudden, it is a 7-point game, and Munson might want a timeout quick.
Yeah, I mean, 2 turnovers and 2 threes is a tough way to start the second half. If you're Eastern Washington, you got to take care of the ball, come meet your passes, and know, hey, Cal Poly's wings can shoot the ball. Get a hand up.
Brutal start to the second half if you're Eastern. Ecstatic if you're Cal Poly. And McLean step all.
Like Coach said at halftime, you know, they got to play from one side to the other before they attack, and that's how they're going to be successful.
Jessup careening into the lane. Stayed in bounds. Up and under. Good looking 2 from Luka Tarl this basketball game. 9 points can go like that in a game like this.
Yeah, it's a game of runs. At the end, you know, you got to make sure you come back now if you're Eastern Washington, get a clean look, try to get to the cup, and try to score without turning it over.
Nick McLean is leading Eastern scorers. Went to the tin himself there, kind of forced it up.
Get it from one side to the other, and it's tough to score when you're turning it over, though. You know, so it's one of those things where you got to do a couple little things, and it'll change the whole game.
This is a good guard lineup for Eastern right now with Cook, McLean, and Williams off the knee of Sebastian Hartman, and another turnover.
Another turnover. I mean, at the end of the day, I think you'd rather have shots than turnovers. And so you got to be aggressive.
Tarlatch underneath and McLean fouled him.
Yeah, that was a good foul by Brad. He's getting a lot more minutes at Cal Poly and being, more leaned on than he was at Utah.
Two different climates,
yes.
Serbia and San Luis Obispo. Sure he likes the Central Coast slightly better. Back to Thomas. He already hit a three, and he's got another.
And that's good. We talked about drive and kick. Coach Ludwig said, hey, move the ball from one side to the other to be successful, and that's what they've done. And Thomas has done a good job knocking down 2 threes.
Excellent response from Oren Kuntz. He was second team all-conference at Colorado Mesa last year in D2 with Coach Mike DeGeorge before they came over together.
Yeah, a good backdoor there. Zonky has to make sure he keeps his eye on his guy as offense is cutting.
Well, Thomas wanted another look at 3.
And he should. He's knocked down his first 2. You keep feeding the guy that's hot.
Powell with space. That was a good-looking one. Jackson Seal was tangled up. He thought he was going to get a foul. The referees say no as Kuntz finishes for 2 and get the points right back.
Yeah, again, too easy right there. Kuntz got the ball. Seals in front of him, just leaves him because he doesn't know who's guarding. It's a wide open layup.
Poly leads by 10. This is their largest lead of the game so far.
If you're Eastern, you're fortunate. It's only 10 right now. You got to continue to work and take care of the ball.
Zonky had a look at 3. Now he'll spin and put up probably his ugliest shot of the game so far, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, he didn't use his legs there, wasn't able to get it all the way to the hoop.
And a foul on the other end. That's on Jackson Seal.
And they take care of the ball a little bit better than Eastern has so far this game. And we talked about it early, all new guys trying to figure it out. Only their 4th game of the year for Eastern Washington.
Cal Poly is so good at finding guys streaking under the basket as Bandel bangs home a 3. A 13-point lead for Cal Poly.
And again, a drive and a kick to an open. You got to make sure you see your guy as the other guy's driving.
This lead is approaching too big for Eastern to come back from if they don't make a move here in the next couple minutes.
Yeah, they got to stay aggressive.
And they gave it up again. Thomas was not expecting the pass, but they'll get it back. Thomas under the hoop. And they'll recover and reset. Out to Zonky. Big 3. They needed that one, Mark.
They needed that one. And, Thomas, great job holding on to that ball down low. Gave Zonky an opportunity to score.
Through traffic. Bandel gave it up. Tied up. Cal Poly.
And Williams, we're not seeing as much Cook this game, but he has the opportunity.
Hyder out of that timeout. Eastern is lucky that was around and off.
That was definitely in and out, and a good look by Hyder. If you're Eastern, you can't keep leaving guys open for 3s.
Chance now to get this back to a single-digit game as Stockton is wide open underneath for 2.
And we were talking about this in the break. Eastern just needs to get down to run their plays. They can get easy looks, and that was one of them. Just a quick back screen, easy look for Sam Stockton, scoring it. And a good screen by his teammates.
Menzies back in off the bench for Cal Poly, as is Kuntz. Could not get past Pablo Zuba. Great ball movement by the Mustangs. Kuntz a deep 3. Airballed that one.
And the key.
It's amazing how much different an 8-point game feels than a 13-point game.
Yes. It's a couple possessions, which is huge.
These two teams have not stopped turning it over in case you're just joining us. But Cal Poly has looked much better to begin the second half. Powell draws the block.
As guy open.
Zonky forced that one up. It was a pretty tight window to put up the 3s tonight. Hit 2 and then has been quiet since. Down low to Zuba. I got prepped for a year. He's got his whole family in the house tonight. Mason Williams has been quiet in the second half so far, and it'll stay that way. Reneker tried to leave it off. This will start tonight. Our guys who came with Coach DeGeorge from Colorado Mesa D2. I mean, they took over this team. They're killing it.
Yeah, I mean, smart job by the coach. Bring the guys that know the system, that can shoot, and then adding pieces to it.
A miracle shot by Kieran Elliott, who started the first 2 games of this year for Poly, but has come off the bench since. And this will be out of bounds, Eastern ball.
Talented, can finish, smart down low, kind of an undersized 4.
And it's back to a 10-point game.
And if you look out there, it's not a lot of height on either team right now.
Hartman draws the foul. Seattle. How do they go about getting him to a high-level scoring more consistently?
He's gonna
for either team tonight. 13 for Poly, 17 for Eastern.
Yes.
So Bizimana back into the game, and for being a big man, he has been unafraid to shoot the 3. Speaking of the 3, Rineker, big one.
And that's just a late rotation by Eastern right there. They had the trap on the weak side, but the help side didn't rotate fast enough. Could have had a steal, and leads to a 3-point for Cal Poly in the corner.
Stangs by 13. This is tied for their biggest lead of the game so far. Eastern has lost a lot of juice here in the second half. Zonky, a little bit long from the Croatian sensation.
Yeah, again, good drive, good ball fake, but can you get a better clean look?
Rineker goes to the rim and does it again. 5 straight points. Poly is making what they hope is their final push.
Yeah, another easy basket, just getting downhill.
Zonky gets it back with 3.
And Zonky is one guy that hasn't been afraid to shoot, right? He's taking shots. Some of them not the greatest, but a lot of them are going in. And that's what Eastern's going to need. They need to score, but they also got to play a little defense.
Poly is shooting 55% as a team, as Elliott tried to chase down his own board. That ball.
To say with Cook, Williams, and McLean, those guards need to be all ready to go.
Also impressive that as a 6'3" guard, he is leading the team in rebounding this year.
Yeah, I mean, he's athletic. And we saw that on the fast break when he threw down and tried to dunk on 2 other guys. So he's very athletic.
They left Kuntz wide open, and he makes him pay. It's back to a 14-point game.
Yeah, just a smart move by Kuntz there, just ball faking his teammate cutting and getting a clean look.
It goes rolling out of bounds.
Seattle U, and
both teams beat Seattle U.
Yeah, I mean they're both tough, and both teams have been playing really well. And you can see at the same time, like when Eastern played Missouri, they really competed. It came down to the last 3.
And Eastern is starting to run out of time here. 14 points is doable, but you got to make that move around the 10-minute mark, and it's got to come with you making a lot of stops. Hartman rejected by Rineker.
Yeah, again, McLean's not clean, so guys need to be ready to score and give themselves opportunities.
McLean fouled.
This is kind of looking, he's shuttling through his guys. Who's going to give him a spark? Who's going to step up? He's giving everybody opportunities.
Poly looking to extend this 13-point lead. Elliott up and under. The follow from Kuntz won't go. And Eastern can slow it down here if they want. They can afford to. They have marked just enough time.
Yeah, if you're Cook there, you got to look to score. He's dribbling the ball down. Guy at the 3-point line. Get some of him in rhythm. Knock him down. He's a good shooter.
Speaking of shooters, Hartman couldn't do it. Does Eastern need more from Andrew Cook tonight?
Definitely. I mean, he's one of their best scorers.
Speaking of scores, Rineker off the mark, and the follow from Owen Kuntz. Vicious.
Kuntz athletic, crashing the boards. Again, not boxing out. Able to get above 2 guys and finish it.
We had not seen that kind of athleticism from him tonight. That was really impressive. Eastern looking for points at this point any way they can get them. Thomas, no. I think Cook might have been risking a foul there.
Yes, yeah, he was trying to tip that one out. Refs let it play because Cal Poly stuck with it.
It's 15 points. And Poly is moving the ball so well. Elliott for Rineker, perfection, and a timeout, no doubt.
Yeah,
doing his best. Back on the floor. Cal Poly is in danger of running away with this game. Down low to Marquardt. The big man can't finish. He had the height advantage too over both those guys.
Yeah, he got to keep it high and finish that.
Out to Hyder, who's been on the bench a lot of the second half because they just haven't needed him. Kuntz for Elliott. They're so good at moving the ball on those give and goes.
Eastern was very fortunate on that last possession that went off Kuntz's hands. But if you turn your head, it's a layup for Cal Poly. They're not standing and waiting.
This Poly team is fun to watch.
Yeah.
Maybe not if you're an Eastern fan, but they're fun to watch nonetheless as Williams comes up short. This offense is just falling apart.
It is another quick turnover by Eastern.
Reneker one-on-one with Williams. Mason's been quiet in the second half. Elliott had the follow and more great offensive rebounding from Poly, and Kuntz puts a nail in the coffin on that possession. It's a 20-point game. Eastern is 1 for 10 in their last 10 shots, and they haven't scored in about 2.5 minutes. Boy, Cal Poly, look out, Big West. They're here to play. Thomas hit 1 3-pointer, has been quiet, has it 2, but then quiet since then.
Yeah, he's a good shooter and a good clean look there. If you're Eastern Washington, you'll take that drive and kick for Thomas. He's a good shooter.
Poly shooting 53% as a team. A very efficient, very effective offense. Shooting 41% as a team from beyond the arc. And a spin and a heat check, why not, from Isaac Jessup.
Yeah, that was a good job. Just a spin move, jump into the defender's body to clear a little space and throw it up there.
And a foul as Williams prepared.
Guarantee, and you got to step up. And right now, the leading scorers for Eastern, their guards, haven't been able to put in that work yet.
Cal Poly's on an 11-1 run that just got broken. But boy, Cal Poly is looking awfully impressive, and I think they're going to make a run in the Big West this year if I had to guess. Hard to beat some of the UC schools, but if you can beat the big guys that UC schools have, you're going to do it by shooting and passing, and that's what they do.
Yes. And you saw last possession, Cook able to score, Cook gets going again. And this is something he's going to have to do. He's going to have to put his head down like McLean does sometimes and, you know, force some offense.
But that's got to be too little too late at this point.
I mean,
right?
there's still 7 minutes left, but I mean, it's going to be, you know, very tough to get back into it. But at least you want to finish on a good note. And that's what you got to do.
That's on Hartman for sure. I don't think he knew what he was doing. Under 7 minutes to go in this one. And Eastern Washington does have a little bit of a break. They don't play again until Thursday night against Washington State. But that's a more appropriately sized break between games.
Yeah, yeah. And it's tough, right? Because if you're Eastern Washington, you're playing when you can.
Jacked that one up. Here comes McLean. He's been the engine in the second half as Hartman's got it for 2 in transition.
And that's what they need. A steal by Cook. Maybe a 3-pointer by Williams here.
That would have helped. Cal Poly ball. That would have helped. Go run right now. So Cal Poly bringing in the usual suspects to try and finish this thing off. Reneker was our player to watch at the start of the game, and we've been watching him as he finds Kieran Elliott. These guys are so good at passing and cutting. It's exemplary.
Well, again, you push the ball, and it's press.
Although you've been watching their games on TV. Tonight might not be the best night to ask you, but if you had to say, what would you call their team identity right now?
Right now, you know,
McLean.
Good finish by McLean, just getting up and under. Good job tackling that. Right now, their identity is in their guards, pushing the ball. You know, they need to get better at defense. And like the coach said at halftime, they're gonna have to get from one side to the other, move the ball.
Can you win a conference in a conference like the Big Sky that way with just a pure guard play?
I think you can. You definitely have to have your big step up.
Not like that. Elliott. And 1. He's in double digits now after that 2. Give him 10 points. Up court to McLean. Trying to be the energizer. Zonky off the mark. Powell trying to go for a second chance, but he's caught. To McLean. Looking for an angle. Looked like he almost stepped out of bounds, but
not that I've seen so far. I mean, I think the guys that are out there are putting in the work.
And Poly back at it here for the last 5 minutes of this one. 1-and-1's coming. Lucky he missed that one, but at this point, Cal Poly is thinking about getting on the plane and flying back to sunny California as McLean gets to the 10.
And that was a good take from McLean. He seems to be the only one, with energy to get downhill.
And Andrew Cook goes flying. Rineker's laughing. He's like, "Are you kidding?"
If Eastern's going to win this year, it's going to be a team effort.
How are you feeling after you've now seen them in person for the first time? This is not a good showing, but how have your thoughts about this team changed?
I think they're going to have a little more grit to them. After seeing them in person, they can't put their head down and stop playing. They gotta play a little bit harder.
Bandel, beautiful for 2.
And again, one-on-one, all the way to the cup for a layup.
McLean
that can't happen.
Trying to do it all himself. And he will.
And he's being aggressive. And honestly, his guy's not the guy that's scoring.
McLean goes flying, and they'll say that's a foul on him. In a lot of ways for Cal Poly because they have chemistry. Eastern is still figuring their chemistry out.
Yes, yeah, I would agree with that. And it's a new team for Cal Poly, but not a new team in general. They just came from somewhere else.
They'll transfer together.
Yes, and they understand the system.
But I'll tell you what, as Zonke elevates for 3 and misses, for a bunch of guys who came from Division II, they look like D1 ball players.
Yeah, they're all other guys or former Eastern guys that start.
So kind of a Cal Poly thing they're doing,
yeah,
actually.
Yeah, and I think you'll see more of it,
Now that you can, right?
Yes.
Gave it away. McLean in transition. Zonke. Admire this. Watch
We're
him.
going to triple knot those next game.
Cook. One-on-one. Out to Williams. That's the kind of play they needed tonight.
And that's what they need. They're going to need that from him. Knocking down shots. And again, a post up and a kick out. They post up the guards.
Mason Williams now 9 points on the night, but 3 of those coming late. They need 9 points from him in the first half of most of these games.
Yeah, they're going to need 18 out of 9 and 9.
You need 20 from Cook, 15 to 20 from Williams, 15 from McLean to win usually now, right?
Yeah, but a 10-point game now with 3 minutes left, a turnover.
That might not be dead yet.
Yep.
Cook on the move, up and under, 2.
Just creating turnovers, getting stops.
Well, Cal Poly has allowed this game to get a little closer than it was. Back to an 8-point game. Who saw that coming?
And credit Eastern Washington just staying with it.
Jessup. No answer. Williams, the board. They'll take the time, but now they'll push. Zonke. Around and off, the roof would have come off this place.
It would have. It would have been a huge shot if he would have made that.
Should they have taken a 2 and gotten points on the board?
No, I mean that's a clean 3 by Zonke, right? I mean, I think you live with that in and out.
Hyder's going to run this one down.
Yeah,
Eastern will get this ball back with about 1:45 on the clock.
Yeah, if you're Eastern Washington, don't lose your guy. Make sure you over-communicate.
Hyder all the way himself, beautiful, couldn't go. Hartman would like quick points. McLean underneath to Cook. Fouled. Cook just went out. And we'll see what Cal Poly attempts to do here. Cal Poly hasn't scored in 2.5 minutes. Eastern's on a 7-0 run. Hyder working on Zonke. That's a big height mismatch. Williams is there and ready to help. Number 2 to the corner. And Jessup can't put it away. Powell.
And it takes some time off the clock.
Eastern brought Cook back in off the bench. The Big Sky Conference Player of the Week. Williams.
Oh, 3-point game.
It's a 3-point game. Cal Poly had led by 22 in the second half. And Eastern is right back in it. Who saw this coming? Rineker. They couldn't get him to travel, but somehow with 64 Rineker will inbound it.
Yeah, it's a combination. Williams, Cook started going, and McLean's still going. We talked about it. All 3 of those guys have to go.
Now the question is, will Cal Poly eat this clock, or will they take the first good shot they see? Hyder on Zonke. Height mismatch. Rineker to the corner. And Kuntz wasn't ready.
Shot clock.
Shot clock violation. Eastern will get.
Making sure to notice that.
Eagles down 3. McLean did it himself. And it's a 1-point game. Now can they force a turnover? Hartman tangled up with Bandel. With ice in his veins.
Yeah.
A 3-point game, 33 seconds. It's McLean bumped, blocked, and I think Bandel hurt himself. Cal Poly's turned it over 22 times. Can Eastern force one more? Not now. Bandel, beautiful. A 4-point game. Eastern needs potentially a quick 3 here, or an even quicker 2. McLean forced it up, got it back.
Now they got to create a turnover here.
2 points and we'll do it again. Bandel trying to run that clock. Hartman didn't foul him. They fouled him the second time through.
Yeah, I was wondering what they're doing there. I mean, they didn't get the.
All right, Eastern needs a 3. It's about time. McLean looking to pass it off for someone who's open. Zonke. No. And that will do it. Eastern Washington was down 22 points, and they come